The idea of living in a small town where there's less traffic really sounds appealing. Before we get into the cost of living, let's talk a little bit about the job market, because in reality that plays a lot of how comfortable you can live in an area. So the Cle Elum market, it is very heavily tourism based. So the most jobs are going to be in retail, dining. I know that there's a lot of house cleaners servicing some of the vacation rentals. There's a ton of construction going on. Homes are going up everywhere. There's a couple of manufacturing plants, but really for those high earning dollar jobs, there's not a lot of them. So what people do is they either commute to the Seattle area, which became more and more common now that I-90 has been improved, or they're remote workers or bring in their own business. So things to keep in mind and consider when you're thinking about moving to the area. All right, so let's dive right into this. Let's take a look at what bestplaces.com has to say about the cost of living in Cle Elum. As you can see here, it is giving it a little higher than the national average at 106.5 over 100%. Which is a little bit better than Washington State. So let's break this down in categories and see how accurate it actually is. First on our list is groceries, and we know groceries have been going up everywhere in the nation, and we've already touched a little bit about how Washington State is a little bit more expensive on groceries. Groceries in Cle Elum is kind of a special thing. They only have one grocery store, and that is Safeway, and this Safeway, it has a lot to handle. So because Cle Elum is such a tourist area, this Safeway gets wiped out. You have all of the people who are coming to vacation, the campers, and even the people that are going further to the gorge stopping at this Safeway and just wiping it out with groceries. It's been rumored that this Safeway is the most expensive Safeway in Washington State. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I definitely know that they struggle with inventory. There is one small grocery store located up in the Roslyn area, and this is a family-owned business, very small in footprint, but their inventory or what they have for options will really impress you, and I encourage you to support the local business owners. All right, next on the list, we are headed to healthcare, and they are giving healthcare an 86.2 over 100. So they're saying healthcare is a little bit more affordable in the Cle Elum area. And what they're talking about is the cost for a hospital bed, doctor's visits, dental. But the reality of it is, there really isn't much for healthcare in the Cle Elum area. There is a clinic for your basic, cold medications and maybe a couple of stitches. But if you need anything a little bit more than that, like an overnight stay or a broken arm, you're going to be going to Ellensburg. And anything that is a prolonged sickness or major surgery, you're going to be driving over Snoqualmie Pass to Issaquah or Seattle. Just keep into consideration all of the gas money that it takes to do this and the potential of overnight stays in hotels. Now, of course, my favorite topic being a realtor is housing. Housing in Cle Elum is not so affordable. They are rating it at 186 over 100, which is much more expensive than the national average. Here on this chart, they're saying that the median home price is just shy of $600,000, and I actually believe it to be much higher at that. When I look at the MLS, it is looking closer to be the median home price to be around $900,000. Now, of course, this is very skewed because you have multi-million-dollar homes in the resort of Suncadia and up around the lake, and then the towns itself, you can still find homes in the $400,000 price range. Just know that these homes that are on the more affordable side, they're over 100 years old, and it's very important to get a good inspection on them. You need to be taking a look of what type of foundation it's sitting on, what kind of, has the electricity been updated, has the plumbing been updated, because there really could be a lot of expense coming down the road with them. Now, something else you should be aware of with the housing costs in Cle Elum is homeowners insurance. Now, I know that this is a hot topic across the nation, and Cle Elum is not immune to it. So rates have been skyrocketing, and there's a lot of homes, even if they've been insured for the past 20 years, that are absolutely losing coverage. So it's really important to do your due diligence on homeowners insurance when you're thinking about purchasing a home in the area. Now, next on our list is utility, coming in at 77.3%. Washington State typically has more affordable utility than the rest of the country, and that is a fact. A lot of the homes in the Cle Elum area are on well and septic, so you're not paying that monthly bill. You just need to really budget for any type of repairs or ongoing maintenance. The power cost in Cle Elum is averaging about 10 cents a watt. So it's about 3 cents a watt cheaper than the Seattle area, but not quite as affordable as the Wenatchee area. All right, now we're looking at transportation, and this one really has my head scratching. They're giving transportation a 78 out of 100. So they're saying it's much more affordable than the rest of the country. Now, living in town, living in the Roslyn Cle Elum area, it's pretty compact, and there isn't necessarily a lot of day-to-day driving. But once again, if you need any amenities, or if you need to go to doctor's appointments, your major grocery shopping, you're going to be going either to Ellensburg, Issaquah, or Yakima, which can really start adding up. One thing that I can say though is Cle Elum has one of the cheapest gas stations I've been able to find in the entire state. So you can get fuel a little more affordable. Next on our list is miscellaneous, and those are things like going out to restaurants, events, those extra things that we like to do in life. And they're giving it 132.3 out of 100, saying it's quite a bit more expensive than the rest of the nation. I absolutely believe this because the area is such a tourist town. The prices to go out and do things typically is a little bit higher. Now, you have to understand that these small business owners, they're not necessarily gouging, but all of their money is really made during the summer seasons, and they have to keep that to float them through the slower times of year. So if you're going out to eat, just plan to spend a little bit more than you would in other parts of the country. I want to hear from you in the comments. What are some of your favorite things to do in the Cle Elum area? Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Amanda.Dallman, a local real estate agent, and if you want to get a hold of us, our information is in the description below.